Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got podcast episode 4 with Quantum. This is part 2. If you've not seen part 1 yet, head on over to Quantum's channel. Take a look at part 1. We've got some great topics we discussed. What did we discuss over on your channel?
We talked about Queen Hippolyta. We talked a little bit about the kind of bleed calendar, and we talked about tier lists.
Yeah, great conversation. Always fun. I swear, tier list is kind of a staple for our podcast, so I guess that's going to stick. And then on this episode, on this part of episode 4, we're going to talk about Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing just came out today as of the recording of this video. And then we're also going to talk about a much requested topic, which is Transmutes. It's kind of a charged topic.
Both.
So I think it'll be, yeah. So I think it'll be good. But before we get into this, I did the same thing on part 1, but I've just got to pay some special attention to Mr. Quantum here, because we're on the DC Dark Legion official Discord channel. They had a creator appreciation event that happened, and Mr. Quantum got first place, which is awesome. And you have a code that is universal, and it's good until the 16th. What is that again?
The code is Quantum25, all caps Quantum, and the number 25.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Congrats. You really deserve it. I know I already said it. For people who've seen part 2 after seeing part 1, I already said it, but still, dude, congratulations. That's awesome. You put a lot of hard work into your channel and into your content, and you deserve it, man.
Well, I appreciate it, but I also have to turn around and say congratulations to you as well, because you were in second place and you weren't too far behind me. Your Legion of Voters got you pretty high on there too. I know you got some codes to give out.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to joining your streams and seeing you give some of those out over the next few days as well. So congratulations to you as well, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's talk about this. This is this is the unofficial. You know what? Here's the thing. This is the unofficial DC Dark Legion podcast called Dark Legion Dispatch. What do you think about us kind of going to them and say, "Hey, can you make us official?"
Hey, man, I wouldn't complain about it. It would be kind of cool.
Wouldn't that be fun? All right, I'm gonna ping Chad and Helen on it. All right.
We'll see what they have to say.
I know, right? They're gonna turn me off. Let's see. Let's talk about Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing just hit the roster today. I've been very excited about Swamp Thing because, as you all know out there, I'm a huge fan of the JLD team. We knew that Swamp Thing was going to be part of the JLD team. If you took a look at the strategy guide before Swamp Thing came out, the original JLD team has Wonder Woman in it, but she was grayed out. I don't know if anybody caught that or not, but she was actually grayed out. So I assumed Swamp Thing was going to be in there replacing Wonder Woman, because I think Wonder Woman maybe is going to be part of the Amazon team, the Amazonian team, because she's not in the list right now next to Hippolyta. For those of you helping me with pronunciation, Hippolyta, thank you. So now we've got him. We've got he's got a very interesting kit. Not a whole lot of, well, I don't know. I did a lot of testing today with him. I've got him to 1 gold, and I've got his force maxed out. So I think I can do a fair amount of testing and some legitimate testing with him to really kind of check him out. But what are your initial thoughts of him? What are your thoughts of him just as a character and part of the team, and what you've seen so far?
Well, his actual character model is awesome. And we were just talking about this in pre-production about what his legacy item does to like what he looks like. And it's wild. They keep one-upping themselves on how these champions look when they equip their legacy piece. And I think that's a really cool. Yeah, it's like a cool interaction that this game has. I mean, I don't know if I can call it unique, but it's just really cool that when you put the unique legacy items on the champions, that it transforms them into something else. Like Superman's cape has like the S on it.
Yeah.
Those wings are so crazy. Like I only know a little bit of the Swamp Thing lore. I've watched like the Justice League Dark Apocalypse War movie and some other things. But like he's just like a really, really cool champion. So I think like from like an aesthetic standpoint, they nailed it. A+, like really good job. And then from just the way his kit is designed, it seems like it's going to be really, really powerful, especially if you have the legacy piece equipped.
Yeah.
But tons of damage reduction. Spiritual damage seems to be a little low. I don't expect him to be like a nuker or anything. He's not going to be doing a massive amount of damage.
Yeah.
But the energy drain is what's key to his kit, I think.
Yeah. I agree. So I was doing some testing in. I think the combat cycle that was current. That well, it's not up anymore. It was up yesterday. It was the Merciless one.
Yeah.
The JLD team is an AOE damage dealing team, so I think against Merciless it was perfect. So when I took the team in there and I took Swamp Thing in there, I got him up to 5 whites, and then I took a look at his damage, and then 5 blues, and then 5 purples, and then 1 gold.
Right.
And he slowly climbed up in damage. At 1 gold, he's coming in. He's only really coming in around 3 million damage.
Okay.
My Constantine in that team, he was hitting what? He was hitting around 24 million damage. But I think the thing about his kit, so you're swapping him out for Wonder Woman. If you take a look at Wonder Woman's kit, she's got a couple stuns, she's got a shield. But when we take a look at Swamp Thing has the energy reduction that we were talking about, so that reduces the other team's ability to attack, right? And then also he's got the damage reduction. So when he goes out there, he unleashes the swamp, which is an immediate damage reduction. So when we take a look at his kit overall, he's got some damage in his in a couple skills, but he increases his spiritual amp that helps him do a little bit more damage. He's got that energy reduction and the damage reduction overall.
Yep.
And I think with just with the amount of damage reduction that he's done, that he can do in his kit, seeing him in combat cycle helped my teams last longer, which then kind of helped me raise the ranks.
So he's slowing the fight down. At least he's slowing your enemy down while you're able to ramp up.
Yep.
And obviously him being Justice League Dark tag synergy, he's going to be able to. You're able to get the 5 tag Justice League Dark synergy and keep Zatanna in.
Yep.
And it just, I don't know. There's definitely a possibility that at high star levels, like I really want to see a couple of people with some red star teams, do this in combat cycle. The numbers are going to skyrocket. Yeah. There's a couple like Oron on our server is able to do massive amounts of damage with his Constantine already in Merciless and Murder Machine. I'm confident that he may be able to get Murder Machine to do like a million or a billion damage in combat cycle.
That's crazy.
We'll see. He's definitely going to break 500 million. I can guarantee you that. I'm not trying to put him on the spot or anything if he watches this, but and there are some of the like Krakens in the game.
Yep.
I'm curious what their scores are going to be. There's a couple of people who send me scores, and like I think some of them will be able to do it pretty high. But like there's so many different ways in this kit to reduce energy. Like at the start of the battle, reduce all enemies' current energy by 35%.
Yep. Every
Every time he casts an ultimate from there, he's reducing it by 30%. His Vine Lash is going to reduce energy of the target enemy by 20%. So whoever he's targeting with that, like probably on the front line, imagine targeting like Scarecrow, who it's really important for him to get his ult off as many times as possible. Like you could really, put a hurting on that team. So
yeah. I mean, and just his swamp surge here, that swamp we were just talking about, reduces damage taken by allies within range by 25%.
And that only goes up as you get like that. That's it. I think Yellow Stars, when you get it to full max, it's I believe 40.
So at
40%.
At 5 yellow, it's 32.5.
Yeah.
So at 5 reds,
Yeah. 5 reds it's going to be 40%, which is just bizarre. It's crazy. It's a high amount of damage reduction. Imagine that along with Dr. Fate's shields and then Raven being able to do an AoE heal. Pretty significant damage reduction.
Yeah. Yeah, and when we take a look at, let's just take a look at his legacy piece here really quick. Check this out. So he's got Green Knights, right? So at the start of battle, Swamp Thing inflicts Nature's Curse on all of his enemies. Nature's Curse reduces attack. So not only do we have damage reduction with his Swamp, we also have attack reduction of the enemy by 30% and crit rate by 15%.
Yeah.
I mean, you really kind of
Yeah.
you wimpify you wimpify the team.
Well, and this only happens once at the start of battle.
Yep.
But it's really funny because I've always viewed Legion of Doom and in particular like Deathstroke as the counter to Constantine
Right.
and the Legion of the Justice League Dark team. This is literally an anti-counter to the counter.
Yeah.
Because like if you're able to drop down the attack and crit rate of Legion of Doom and you're doing damage mitigation,
Yep.
you might actually be able to, and you can stop the energy, you might actually be able to survive the initial onslaught. So.
Well, especially with Deathstroke. Deathstroke has been a Constantine killer for a long time.
Yeah.
Now we've got damage reduction, attack reduction, crit reduction for 10 seconds. 10 seconds is a long time in battle. I mean, that's enough to kind of get the edge.
I was telling somebody the other day, and I've probably said it way too many times at this point, but like literally they wrote Constantine's force talents for Deathstroke, like because of Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Like two of his 3 skill-based force talents are basically like to keep him alive against an attack from Deathstroke. So
yeah.
I don't know. This is the Antler Crown is going to be a very powerful meta legacy piece. Like I would say, I know you're saying you're really close to getting it. This is like an instant buy for me. I didn't even have him pulled once yet.
Mm-hmm.
The second that I saw this legacy piece when I logged into the game this morning at like 6:30, I bought it. I had the magic eyes saved up and I was like, instant buy.
Yeah. Well, and we didn't even talk about regrowth. So regrowth, the other ability on it, right?
Yep.
So increases the wearer's ultimate damage by 10%. He's not a massive damage either, but hey, every little bit counts. But at the start of battle, the wearer restores 4% of lost HP every 5 seconds until the end of battle. Not just for a short period of time, but for the end of battle.
That was the other thing. Like when I was reading it, I like immediately bought it just from looking at the first skill, and then I was like, whoa. I thought it was just like at the start of battle for a few seconds,
right? Yeah.
But no, it's like just passive health restoration for the entire battle, which is really significant amount.
So damage reduction, attack reduction, crit reduction, HP restoration. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean, massive amounts of, if we go back to his actual kit, massive amounts of increased spiritual amp. And, I mentioned, like, I think the amount of damage that he can do at the highest level from his ult and his first basic skill is significantly lower than like a traditional nuker, but he gains 25% spiritual amp every 5 seconds, stacking 3 times. So 15 seconds into the battle, he's gained like 75% spiritual amp. And for people who don't understand the difference between like spiritual damage and spiritual amp is like based off of it scales off of attack, but spiritual amp is like, it increases the range of damage that you can do at the high end. And it's basically like the crit for spiritual damage.
Yeah.
Like that, it is a massive amount. Like, so imagine at the, 5 red stars on, or 5, I guess 1 red star on the ultimate, you're able to get the highest amount. So it's 720% of attack, right? Imagine that all that spiritual amp allows you to get to like 1,000% of attack.
Right.
You could definitely do a pretty large amount of damage a few seconds into the fight. So
yeah. And just taking a look at his force, I mean, it's all attack. There's some spiritual amp. So I maxed his force out. You max it out, it's only 1%.
Yeah.
But he's got some spiritual penetration. He's got some crit resist. So he's got some survivability built in here as well. So, I mean, he can take some damage. He can do a little bit, but it's really the additional support. Kind of like what we were talking about Hippolyta being more of a support. I think he is definitely more of a support to the team then he would be a damage dealer.
For sure, which is very interesting to me because the way his kit is designed, it does give him a lot of avenues to do more damage.
Yeah.
He's he he's really kind of a jack of all trades, like a Swiss Army knife type champion. You look at a champion like really any of the firepower champions. So I think the key example here would be Aquaman. He doesn't do any damage at all.
Yeah.
Like doesn't matter how much attack you try to give the guy, he can't do any damage. I think Swamp Thing is going to surprise us. So, especially like for somebody like you who has his force fully maxed out and, has him at yellow stars. I think he's going to be able to do a decent, like more damage than we realize. But probably is going to sit in that range around like Martian Manhunter where he can do a decent amount of damage for you, but he's not going to be the nuker that's going to score like, tens of millions of damage in combat cycle.
Yeah.
So.
No, 100%. I'm hoping I can get it. I got him into golds on day one, so I'm hoping to get him into the reds by the end of his run. I'm 100% focused on him right now.
Yeah, you might end up having a higher level Swamp Thing than me when it's all over with. I really want to focus on the Amazons, and I'm kind of just sitting and waiting. Like I did spend all of my ambles on Swamp Thing, but I've got a lot of mythic selectors saved up to try to use on Donna, and
nice.
I'm hoping like if there's an event for Death Metal Wonder Woman, we're hoping the next variant. I hope that it's not anvil based so that I can continue to spend anvils on Swamp Thing without, feeling bad about it. But I'm looking forward to seeing what yours can do at the high star levels. I'm assuming you're probably going to be doing all the Justice League Dart reruns like Constantine and Zatanna.
Yep. Yeah, especially getting Constantine up to up into the reds and stuff as much as I can. And if anybody's interested, so like I said, day one, gold one or yellow one, I spent 1,000 anvils, and this is just, yes, I paid for some, but I had 760 somewhere around there saved up, so I only purchased a few from the store. But 1,000 anvils got me to 1 gold for Swamp Thing. I was hoping I would get into at least maybe max gold, but I got to 1 gold.
So we were talking about this too, and I was trying to, in my head, I guess I could pull my infographic up on this, but it takes five pulls to get through the purple stars because each purple star is 40, and then it takes 3 to get through the blue stars, and then because there's 120 total, and then it takes 1 to get through the whites.
Right.
So that's 9, and then the 10 for the 1 for the one that the initial unlock. So it took you got 11 copies for 1,000 shards, which actually ends up being, I would say, pretty good.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel that way though. That's what we were talking about. It's like wait, actually, I beat Pity like 200%. I beat Pity. But it doesn't feel like that because you kind of feel like 1,000 anvils, you should be getting like max red stars, right?
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, so very excited about this guy. I don't know where I'm going to put him on the tier list yet. I'm going to spend a few more days on him. I will have him on my late September tier list. I'm going to place him kind of, I don't know. I'm thinking kind of high, but I don't want to overshoot this one. You know what I mean? So...
yeah.
I don't know. We'll see where I land him. I'm gonna do a video, not a video, but I'm gonna do a stream also where we do some testing with him, like I used to do. I haven't done that in a while. So we're gonna do a testing stream with him, and it should be fun. So sorry.
I'm gonna say I'm hoping I can tune in for that. I know college football season is underway. I'm hoping to smoke a lot of different assorted meats over the weekend. So I don't know how much time I'll set my phone or my iPad up on the beside the grill and have your stream up while you're doing that. It would be kind of funny.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, that would be really cool. I'm looking at maybe trying to start doing a stream every week or maybe once a month or something like that. Just a small thing, but I'd love to see your streams come back, man. I think that's something a lot of people like.
Yeah, it's just life's been tumultuous. I will tell you that. I'll go into that later. But all right, so let's wrap up Swamp Thing. We've got Transmutes to talk about. I know everybody's excited
Yep.
about that one. But any last minute comments or anything you want to make about Swamp Thing?
I don't think so. S tier on the aesthetic tier list
There you go.
for Swamp Thing. He looks awesome, and I hope that he can live up to his actual expectations from a kit perspective.
Yeah.
But looking forward to doing a little bit of Transmute talk now.
Awesome. All right, so Transmutes. This was something that was requested. I know I saw it in my comments. I'm not sure if you saw it in your comments, but people are like, "Why aren't you guys talking about Transmutes?" And we give a lot of praise. I will say we give a lot of praise to the developers for listening to feedback and things like that. So, but I think that equally, maybe not as equally, but I mean, I feel that we're pretty critical when it comes to different things that happen in the game. I mean, everybody knows my feelings on like Gotham War and Guardian Challenge and things like that, but this isn't something we've talked about. And
Yeah.
I don't even know. I mean, you did a Transmute video with Ravenheart. Yeah, you had brought that up
Yep.
on your part of the video.
Yep.
But I wouldn't even venture to say that there's mixed feelings about it. I think there's more negative feelings about Transmutes than there is positive feelings about it.
Yeah. 100%. I think that there, especially talking to Raven about this, I think there are ways that you can view it and so that you don't stress out too much about it.
Yeah.
And there are things that you can do to kind of like, min max your account and not over invest on some of the transmutes that make it a little bit easier to stomach. But just there are a couple of things that they've done. Like they initially introduced it where you could get the higher level transmutes at the lowest tier,
Mm-hmm.
like at level 1 transmutes, you could get some like mythic level transmutes. You can't do that anymore. Like the percentages, I think it starts at level 3 when you can start getting the legendary and mythics. So like if they leave it the way it is, it's going to be incredibly difficult, even for light spenders or
Yeah.
like, light whales. I would say you and I sometimes fit in. We're like strategic whales, I
Yeah.
would say. Like if you like the team enough, you're going to get it.
Yeah.
Like even for people at our level of the game, it's going to be quite difficult for you to get past level 3 transmutes without kind of spending way too many mirror cells on one specific gear piece. So that has definitely left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths.
So I haven't touched Transmutes much. I'll be honest. I mean, I spent quite a bit of time today because I was building up my Supergirl. One thing that was very frustrating to me is Flash in auto. He goes to the highest attack character to boost their ultimate. Right? He would never go to Supergirl. He would always go to Superman, even though Superman's attack is less than Supergirl. So I started playing around. I thought this was a good opportunity to play around with Transmutes because she's already
Yeah.
maxed out. I've got her in the best gear. Um, I spent 24,000 mirror cells and I got very little in return for decent stats. I didn't get, I mean, in one piece, I got it down up to unlocking the 3rd tier of it. I wanted to lock in. I had a good stat. I want to lock it in, but I can't use just mirror cells to continue to like that tier 1 to continue to cycle through the different stats that I'm looking for. You have to have your mirror cells plus that freaking red box, which
Yeah.
you can only buy, right?
Basically, you can earn about, well, I've earned around 30 from like doing the Realm of Fates and Training Sim and all these other
Okay.
things. Maybe less than 30. But let me look. I've got my Supergirl pulled up. She's got my best transmutes on her. Um, let's see. I've got 28. And I haven't paid for any of them at all. I've actually used a couple. I used one to explain how it works.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to regret this. It's really stupid. But yeah, I mean, the long and short of it is I think the best break point for like 90% of people over time is to never take a piece past level 3.
Right.
Because once you get to level 3, anything that you do to try to get to level 4, like it's exponentially more. It's like I forget the exact numbers that Raven shared. He's got them on one of his guides somewhere, but it's like 12,000. It's like over 10,000 to get to level 3, and then it's like 40 or 50,000 mirror cells to get to level 4.
Yeah.
And like you don't even want to know what it takes to get to level 5 transmute. Like
Yeah.
it's like tens of thousands of dollars to get like a full set of level 5 transmutes. It might actually be closer to like, it might be over 50. I'm not even kidding with you.
Right.
Like it's really baffling. So, you know, I think level 3 is the highest that you would want to take any given gear piece.
Right.
And once you get a champion to like all 5 gear pieces being at level 3 transmute, you can go to the next one to work on them. But to your point, the issue is even once you get to level 3,
Yeah.
trying to fish for the right the right transmutes is almost impossible.
Yeah.
What I've been telling people in passing conversations is just find one thing that's good and lock and just like leave it alone. So like once you get to level 2 or level 1, 2 or 3, like whatever you're trying to get
Yeah.
to, you find something that seems like it works with your champion's kit, just leave that one alone and go to the next one.
And that's
Um,
so counterintuitive because
it is.
I mean, sure, one stat, but you got 2 crap stats, you know? I mean,
Right. I'm looking at my Supergirl, like I have her headpiece is at level 3,
yeah.
and her stats are a gray effect accuracy, a gray HP, and then I got a green crit damage point or a 2.5% increase. And I was like, hey, crit damage on Supergirl, I'm going to keep it.
Yeah.
But I only have 28 Intertrons. And every time you try to lock in and change the piece, it takes an Intertron.
Yep.
You run out of those just on one gear piece.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I mean, ultimately, I think it's just not built fully. I think that there are some systems they have to add
yeah.
onto the end of this thing.
Yeah, I feel a little better about mine. So my Supergirl, she's at 3.2, but I've got her at a purple crit rate of plus 2.7% and a purple attack flat stat of 189. I'm stuck with this gray stat of freaking physical defense of plus 27, which does me no good. No good at all.
Yeah. It's not that great, but it's more of an impact than you realize. You know, so it's like at end game, the first thing that's very important is to get to all level 500 gear pieces.
Yep.
Then the next step up is make sure that you get tag synergy gear. So like for Supergirl, for example, here, Superman family gear pieces.
Yeah.
And then and that's going to be like 75% of the battle.
Right.
If you can get that, just any transmutes are going to be better than nothing. But like for me, I just fish for like energy gain is like my favorite one to fish for.
Right.
If I get energy gain on a gear piece, I'm done. I'm not even worrying about it. Like the other two are just like, you know, whatever. But yeah, it's really frustrating.
It is, and here's one. So I've played a million games out there, not really a million, but I played a ton. I mean, I built this channel 6 or 7 years ago. I played a bunch of different games, and they've all been hero collector type games. And in a lot of those games, there's different types of gear stat mechanics, right?
Right.
Most of those games have a way for you to go and just reliably farm what you need in order to change the stats of your gear fairly regularly. This here, I mean, you said you've got 28, but you got to get fairly high in your training simulator to start getting these.
Well, you do. Realm of Fate is probably I think the easiest way to do it, but you've got to get to like the higher levels, like 200, 300, 400 on those to get to it. I think I'm like number 5 or 6 on the server, just from like banging my head against the wall trying to push through these. And I've also like leveled my account up to where I have, you know, a lot of the important characters, some purple stars, but in doing that, I kind of hurt my account by not pushing more champions higher. But point being, like you can definitely get 20 or 30 Intertrons over time. over the course of 6 or 7 months of playing the game, but you're going to run out of them if you even use them. I just like forgot about them. What I think what Raven was recommending was don't even think about using your Intertrons until you're at level 5 Transmute, which means like Intertrons don't exist. That's the only way that you can play it. And to your point, like I think I always go back to a certain game that where the players use lightsabers. That's a mobile game. And like that's like my favorite or one of my favorite games of all time. I spent like a massive amount of time and energy like working through the gear and like trying to get speed stats and things like that on the gear, but they had like a more robust way to farm the gear, and you could use energy to farm certain battle nodes. We don't have that in this game where you can like farm the mirror cells easily. Like combat cycle, if you're lucky at the highest levels, you're getting like a couple hundred mirror cells a day. It's not ideal.
Hopefully the developers out there are keeping an eye on it, and we see some changes coming soon. Like like we've said before, the developers do pay attention. They make changes and updates that make sense, and when they can. So let's see. I think that's really it for Transmutes. Before I go off the deep end, but I think that's great advice coming from you, Quantum, about kind of where the priorities are. Right, the level 500s, then your engraved gear, and then worry about Transmutes much later.
Right.
And don't spend too much time really kind of dwelling on it.
And don't spend money on Intertrons. Please don't.
Yeah.
I hate to recommend not to buy a pack. Like if you're gonna buy anything, buy an Anvil pack.
There you go.
Don't buy the Intertron packs. But
yeah.
Maybe in a couple of podcasts, maybe in a few episodes down the road, we'll have more to talk about on the Transmute side of things. Like you said, a lot of people have been asking about it, and it's kind of difficult. Like there's a lot of things you can delve into with it. Like there's at level 5, you get these set bonuses. There's a 2 set bonus and a 5 set bonus that are like really, really cool. But I kind of feel bad talking about it and telling people more about those systems when people can't get access to it. Like, why would you want to know about something if you can't use it? But I really am looking forward to, like, that's a thing in this game that I'm most excited about is when they do finally get the gear system in a better spot. Being able to kind of nerd out on that a little bit more.
Same here. Just min-maxing the gear and everything. That's always been kind of a fun aspect for me in different games. So, all right. Well, cool. I think we talked to that one to death. Those are the 2 topics that we had today. Just want to thank everybody for coming out and hanging out as we talk about, everything DC Dark Legion. Quantum, I want to thank you for your time. If all of y'all have not done it yet, head on over to Quantum's channel. Hit that subscribe button. Watch part 1 of this podcast over there, plus the other podcasts that we have as well. We split them out between both channels, so you get a full hour of us. Excited about that? A full hour of us just talking about the game. And if you have any comments or anything, any suggestions about what you want us to talk about, or just interact with us to put the comments in his videos, put the comments in my videos, and then we'll definitely add it to the list of topics that we have. We cut this down by 2 topics, and we still talked a lot. So
we did, but I hear a lot of people say that they enjoy listening to us. Like they just kind of put us on the phone and don't necessarily watch; they just listen while they're doing other things, and I think that's great. I know we're looking. People have asked if we have like a Spotify or Apple Music, area where you can watch the pod or listen to the podcast. We're working on that. I think it would be really cool to try to get that out there at some point in the next few months. It's just there's logistics behind being able to do that, but stay tuned. Until then, hopefully you'll still keep coming to both of our channels and visiting with us for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Quantum, as always, it's a pleasure to do this podcast with you. All of you out there, thanks for coming out and hanging out, like I said before, and we will see you in the next podcast. Take care, everybody.
Bye, everyone.